In this video, I'm going to show you how to create registration marks for multicolor vinyl. So similar to what we did in the past in other videos for creating registration marks for t-shirt printing, the registration marks are going to allow you to keep all of your colors aligned. And when we're talking about vinyl and in stickers, that's pretty critical because you need that registration to be right on. We don't want to see any glass or maybe your Chromebook or whatever you're going to be putting the sticker on. You don't want to see any of that shining through around the edges of your image. So we need to make sure that our registration is right on, and these marks are going to help us with that. So the marks are a little different in vinyl than they are with t-shirt printing. In vinyl, we want our marks to kind of be pretty big and fat. It's going to allow us to easily align the pieces of vinyl on top of each other with a much thicker cross or mark, okay? So for marks in vinyl, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take the shapes tool here. So I'm gonna come down and say, give me the rectangle. And in here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draw a skinny, like a skinny registration mark here. And I'm gonna be somewhere around there. And you can see my size here. I'm gonna maybe make this 0.25 wide by maybe 0.75 long, okay? So you can see I've changing those the size of those with the, with that panel right there. So there's my one. Now, if I zoom in a little bit, what I can do is I'm gonna draw another one, and the other one is gonna go this way, okay? And again, I'm going to maybe make this one 0.25, and this one I'm going to make maybe one long, okay? And then I can take this and I can move this over. I'm just gonna nudge it around with the arrow keys here, and I've got my mark, okay? Again, I've got a pretty thick, substantial mark that I want to use here, okay? Now that I have this mark, what I'm gonna do is I need to unite these, okay? If you notice, I've got two different shapes, and I don't want the cutter to cut one rectangle and then cut another one. I want it to kind of cut around the outside of these things. So I need to unite them into one solid shape. So to do that, I'm going to highlight both pieces, and we're going to get rid of these cross lines here that are crisscrossing over each other. And to do that, I'm going to go up to Modify, Create Compound Shape, and Union. And that's going to get rid of all of those crossing lines in between there. So when I go to Union, you can see here it now makes it as one piece, okay? And you can see if I hover over it now, it's just gonna go around and see the outside of that shape. To verify that, let's take a look and see what the vinyl cutter is going to see. For that, I'm gonna go up to View and Outline View, and you can see here again that those black lines are what the vinyl cutter is going to trace. Okay. So now that I have that one done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back out of outline view. I'm going to uncheck that. I'm going to move over here, and I am going to put another mark right over here towards the other side. Again, I'm going to highlight, Control C, Control V. Here's my second one. Again, I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm going to have this over here. And now I'm going to have two registration marks that I can use for aligning all of the different colors that I have for my vinyl sticker. So if you have one color, you don't need marks. But if you have two colors, you have to have registration marks, unless your colors are really far apart and they're not touching, and you can manually register them yourself. But if your colors are tight or your colors are touching, maybe they're laying right on top of one another, you absolutely are going to want to have registration marks. That's the only way you're going to be able to get these two colors or three colors or five colors of vinyl to line up with one another and have them perfect, exactly how you've designed it on the computer. So the last thing I want to do here is to finish this up, I'm going to take both of these compound shapes. I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to call this, I can call this Reg Marks. Okay, for registration marks. And I'm going to take these two layers, holding Shift, highlighting both, and drag them into the registration marks layer. There we go. And now I can turn the visibility on and off, and I have those on one layer ready to go. I would then create another layer here, and this is where you start coloring for, or naming these as all of the colors on your layer. So this might be black, then I'm gonna do another one. This one's gonna be maybe blue, and the last one is going to be white, okay? So those are gonna be the 3 colors I'm going to do. Now when I start tracing my vinyl, those colors that are coordinating with those specific layers need to be on those layers so you can turn them on and off. We can export all of these layers into separate files and get things sent over to the vinyl cutter. So with that, good luck, and let's make some cool stickers.